Once you have, Envious to face off against, next matchup you have is FaZe Clan, who looks to be one of the top teams in the game by far.
Yeah. A real rough start for them starting into the tournament here. Not a rough start, but like just a rough couple of matchups.
Absolutely,
You're going against some of the best that we have to offer here in the North American Call of Duty World League in the form of Envious and FaZe. And the form of what these players are in right now, it's definitely a scary sight. So we'll take a look at the rig draft here very quickly. Lots of standard stuff going on both sides here, except we are seeing FTL jump on the side of the Gosu crew on the left. The names are actually backwards there. I apologize for that. But for the most part, we're seeing our reactive armor, overdrive, rewind, active camo. A lot of the more effective payloads in these respawn game modes, so expect to see those come into play when breaking hard points.
It's very interesting to see Persini actually go with FTL jump. Normally he's kind of an overdrive type of player that likes to rock that one, but it seems that for breakout, it looks like he has different plans. So of course, loading in here to game number 1, it will be breakout hardpoint. To kind of go over the maps for you guys, breakout hardpoint will be map number 1, S&D on retaliation for game number 2, uplink on frost for game number 3. If it comes down to it, map number 4 will be hardpoint on throwback. And if we see that game 5, it could be over on Scorch for some search and destroy. Without further ado, it's time to hop into this game number 1, MV versus Gosu crew. Fox, who are we going to start on board with first?
I want to take a look at what we've got going on the side of Team Envious, who will actually be your team in red this time instead of your boys in blue. So keep that in mind when you're taking a look at the scoreboard and the kill feed and that mini-map. The red arrows and the red names will be your boys on Team Envious. So I want to start things off with Slasher, who's actually going to be rocking the NV4 for his team. Look for a player like Slasher to be just the best zoning AR in the entire server. And unfortunately for the enemy team, they're going to start off with a team kill. Arsenes tries to make up for it by finding those 2 kills. Slasher in a solid position to respond with 2 of his own, and now expect him to push up towards loading.
Yeah, complete control for the side of Envious. We do have to mention, of course, the recent update that went through. In some ways, kind of middle box kind of turns into roof, essentially, is obviously the hard points have kind of changed up a little bit, but everyone's focus, besides this first hard point, is going to be obviously over in cell block, which it seems that Envious currently have those preferred spawns, as it will be, it looks like Gosu crew finally getting a few points on the board.
And Arsenes, the player for Gosu crew, to take down Slasher off of that power position on loading. He jumps up the top cube, gets some hill time, a couple of kills to his name before going down. Excellent usage of his life there. So let's stick on board with him off the respawn. 3 players for Gosu crew surrounding cube here. They got a trophy system down, trying to take Slasher off the power position. The NV4 so difficult to answer to in that spot. And now we see the rotation come in. All the players rotating over to the new hardpoint. Team Envious is already there. I don't expect to see these guys slow in a rotation at any point in time in this game.
Yeah, there are actually a few quotes that were brought up, in interviews from the side of Gosu crew, and they were saying, you know what, we're a very aggressive team. We're willing to push if we're one shot. We're willing to push so many different things, which can kind of come into your favor at some points because you're obviously kind of catching your enemy off guard. When you're playing against a very known squad in Team Envious, guys who have been in countless tournaments, JCap especially, and as well as John, these guys are used to those things. They've played in so many different series. I don't really think there's going to be a whole lot the Gosu crew can kind of throw at them that they're not going to expect, but it is about effort, and it seems that JCap and the boys from Team Envious do have a little bit of a lead, but Gosu crew is starting to bring this one back a little bit, as they do have current control instead of cell block, but that one is going to be contested. John coming from the side, gets shut down, and 3 go down for the side of Envious. Looks like the rotations is what's going to be on their mind here, as Gosu crew get a great hold there.
Yeah, awesome hold there. We saw JCap and company take that initial time on the hard point, but they got wiped out, and Gosu crew was able to mount up quite a bit of time there on both pushes that Envious attempted, and now we're seeing rotation come in. We're heading over towards rocks again. We see that Team Envious has the initial time. John's going to toss out just a predictive nade with the flechette grenade there. Flechette is how you pronounce that grenade.
It's French, I'm sure it is. I know.
That's something, but it's definitely something else. John taking point. He's going to put a couple shots down range, not able to finish the kill until just then, but now you look at your kill feed. All 4 players dominating the scoreboard on the side of Team Envious. It's 4 kills in a row. That should mount them a good bit of time with this new spawn system, forcing Gosu crew to spawn way out. Gunless and Drama, though, are going to be the first ones to open these engagements. John is the next line of defense, however, being outnumbered and outgunned. He's taken down. Gunless comes through. Envious players coming up off of the respawn are able to answer to it. However, this is still awarding Gosu crew with hill time, Landon.
Indeed it is, and of course only 15 seconds left to fight for over in Graveyard. The rotations coming over to Commissary will be taking place momentarily, but it seems that Envious really want this push because they can kind of force their way through back helipad, which is going to be the main focus for the spawns. Of course, you want to have those spawns when it comes down to this next hill. It can absolutely grab a lot of time if you have that one on the rotation. But as Envy starts to push through, John able to find one through that top room. I think the rotation actually coming in. Looks like it might actually win the spawns over. Now Drama's going to be the last alive. And it looks like he might actually be pushed here. Decides to back up. It seems that Envious absolutely forcing the issue, completely overwhelming the side of Gosu Crew off this first side.
And so you notice here this time, it wasn't Envious that gets the initial time, but they were right on the heels of Gosu Crew as they were rotated, opened up with those 2 kills, and that made that 4v2 situation just that much easier for them. So now Apathy sitting pretty. He's going to be the one holding wall run, not seeing too much action, as it looks like the push is coming from behind them. John, though, guns 2 players. Slasher helping him out, closing out the 3rd. So now let's see if there's going to be any action on the wall run side of things. No push coming in just yet from Gosu Crew as they spawn way out. Let's see the eyes up. Let's see the game through the eyes of the Gosu Crew as they decide how they're going to push this up. He comes towards wall run. JCap, though, gets a little aggressive, shuts him down. All 4 players on Team Envious are on streaks at the moment, and that's when they're most dangerous. They will not choke on any advantage you give them. They will take full advantage of that and just run straight through you.
Apathy actually running an MP4, which is kind of interesting to see. I'm not sure if he actually picked that one up or was actually rocking that one as far as a loadout is considered. But still, this is some interesting stuff we're seeing from Gosu Crew. Not really having much of a response here so far, Fox, as it seems that it is completely overwhelming them. The slaying coming in. We talked about that 3-piece, or I think 2, and I think an assist that John got back helipad. It seems that their shots are on full force here. A team that really struggled at the beginning of Infinite Warfare, constantly getting 100-point club. When the weapon draft was introduced, guys who really couldn't find their role. Of course, they are facing off against what is known as an online team, technically, in Gosu Crew, but they're making slight work of them right now. They already have a 100-point lead, and as rotation's getting ready to come in here shortly, at about 20 seconds, Gosu have got to make something happen. They've got to get the slang underway because this one's starting to get out of hand. Yeah,
and I mean, we were discussing this team yesterday a little bit, Landon. We were talking about some of the strength that can come from the twin brothers on the side of Gosu Crew, Pristini and Arcides. Some of the strengths that we've seen from Pristini and Black Ops 3, they're not showing in this first map here. Maybe it's nerves, maybe it's just the fact that this is a tough hardpoint matchup, but Pristini's currently 5-17 triple negative, and he's someone that we said was probably the most talented player on this roster if we just take into account his form in Black Ops 3.
Oh, without question. I mean, when we talked about the run with Apollyon back and actually qualifying for champs, I believe they actually had a pretty decent placing for what they were. I think around maybe a top 12 placing between the two. So, I mean, they're used to this high-pressure situations. They've literally been to the biggest tournament of all time, but when you think about it, oh my God, his Apathy
fully
shuts
streaked
them down.
out.
He says, welcome to my reticle, as it's going to be 4 down for the side of Gosu Crew. It seems the Team Envious rivaling on, but like I said, I mean, they've been to the largest tournament ever. I mean, I think when you talk about maybe drama and Gunless, I mean, they maybe haven't been there, but the issue's coming with Pristini without question. 6-19, drama 9-13. I mean, this is just absolutely dominance coming in from the side of Team Envious. The boys in blue, who are currently in red, are just absolutely wiping away them.
And despite being, able to go to the largest tournament of Call of Duty Black Ops 3, you can still have issues with nerves. There are some players that still get nervous, especially if it's your first match of the day, and it just so happens to be against the best team in the world, Team Envious. So I feel like that's a pretty intimidating thing to go to, especially if you're someone that's on the up-and-coming side of things in that amateur scene. It's not a very easy thing to stomach when you're trying to become a professional player and you establish yourself in the scene. So we're going to see Apathy pop that rewind, get some of his health back after being tagged up, and the push for this last 30 seconds they're looking for should be an easy one with so many score streaks and so much utility on the side of Team Envious.
Absolutely, you've got score streaks. One of them score streaks potentially as 3 go down yet again for the side of Gosu Crew. John, the boys from Team Envious kind of rivaling on. In fact, they've most likely taken this game. I mean, only a few seconds left before they can kind of close this one out. See kind of potentially what the score can get to. Maybe 70, maybe 80 potentially, but it seems that all of them are absolutely on point. Like I said, maybe a little bit of a slow start for Gosu Crew. I believe I actually saw a tweet coming in, I believe from the side of Pristini, where he was saying he had a little bit of a delayed flight. He talked about nerves along with a lot of different things. Maybe the tournament, things kind of go the way they wanted to. They're not in a comfortable situation, but when you're put in situations like this, and you're put in the pool that you're in right now, where you have teams like Envious and FaZe, Titans, and the Call of Duty community and the scene, I mean, it's definitely a major task that they're going to have to try to take on here in this first tournament for IW.
Oh, for sure. If we're talking about, flights or whatever issue it may be, that's just when you got to come in a little bit earlier. If you want to guarantee that you're here on time, you can't predict the weather unless, you're a meteorologist or something. But, I mean, that's just something you gotta understand is possible and can happen. But here it is, Envious opening it up, opening the entire series up regardless with a dominating lead. And you see the camo get popped by Slasher. He's going to run in with the Hornet. Easy hipfire kill. Very difficult to hit someone with that new and improved camouflage, and he's going for his second engagement. Not going to win that one. Hornet versus Hornet. Pristini's going to win it and find a triple kill. I don't think. Oh no, never mind.
Oh, there
we go.
He took out his teammate.
We found the triple kill.
There you go. There you go.
Finally got it.
You get awarded.
He team killed, but he still found the triple somehow.
Yeah, I mean it happens regardless, but. Obviously taking the name of Team Envious for this game, maybe they're feeling a little bit more confident, but still, I mean, granted, they're getting a few points here and there, not taking anything away from the fact that they're doing that. They're making some good plays. We can definitely see the side of Team Envious realizes they only have 5 more seconds. I mean, if they play this correctly, Slasher ends up in some ways kind of wasting the active camo. I mean, he gets kills for it, but no time awarded to it. But as you can see, the streak's starting to come in. A team kill from the other side, actually, from the side of Team Envious, ends up going down. Of course, not a whole lot of points being awarded for the time being, but after it gets shut down from behind, of course, the nade potentially in return does a little bit of damage. And it seems that the final points will start to come through as they're only 2 seconds away. Gosu crew just trying to hang on for anything that they possibly can.
Another team kill coming in from Bristini with his score streaks there. JCap playing on the front line here. 2 players in front of him. Arcides, though, with the thrust jump just in front of Cube is going to be enough to take him down. John is able to find 2 kills before being traded out. Envious needs to just hurry up and close out of this game. I highly doubt, the possibility of Gosu coming back.
I mean,
right?
breakout. I mean, clutch plays have happened. We saw it in Phase in Orbit, but it's 2 seconds. So, maybe not. No, not feeling it.
I think an early rotation is more than enough to just close this game out. We've already seen, this is also, now that we're back in the initial rotation of the hardpoint, this is where we would see JCap and company always beat them on the rotations, and there it is. He's in position, closes out the game right there, 250 to 153. We see Team Envious take map number 1, despite what your scoreboard might say there on screen. It is Team Envious is able to come out on top.
Of course, and I think honestly the score looks a lot better than it probably was. I mean, I think they were down 240 to like 50 at some point. So a lot of points gained for the Gosu crew. Envious was kind of coasting through that final half of the game there, but still an absolutely dominant victory, and one that if you're the side of Gosu crew, maybe you could try to come back from this one, obviously. Try not let that one affect you. But I think Hardpoint isn't really one that they're most preferred in. I mean, when it comes down to more online squads or kind of amateurs that are kind of rising through the scene now, they kind of prefer the S&D type of gameplay. So we'll see how that kind of worked out for them. I believe game number 2 is going to be taking place over on S&D for Retaliation, so we'll see how they can obviously try to do there. But like I said, it's very difficult for them. They're in a very difficult pool. FaZe Clan up next after this game, so a lot of pressure kind of being put on them, but we'll see how they do, obviously, in the Search and Destroy.
Oh, difficult is an understatement. They're going against the most experienced of veterans in the Call of Duty scene at the moment in their pool, and it really shows in that first map just how strong they can be right out the gate.